Welcome to the Family First Retirement Podcast with George Politarhos. For more information, visit betrayawealth.com. Now, let's get to the show.
My name is Mark Owens, and George Politarhos, the entire community wants to know. Now that we are officially into 2026,
Happy New Year.
Everybody wants to know, were you awake when the clock struck midnight on New Year's Eve?
I was. We went out to a late dinner with my family, and I was.
Very good.
And by like 12:03, I had my sleep apnea machine on, and I was sound asleep.
But you made it. That's what's most important. That's great.
Ding dong, ding dong.
I'm lucky I get to host a big New Year's Eve party down at the Battery, which is the bar restaurant district at for the Atlanta Braves. And it's always a huge party. And I've been doing it for, 6-7 years now. And what's so funny is as the years go on, 5 years ago, we're cranked up. We're going to 1, 2 in the morning, after parties. We're watching the drunk stumble out. Now it's like, yeah, Happy New Year. I'm going to bed.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Wow, fireworks are pretty as I'm walking back up to the hotel room. That's beautiful. I can't wait. Give me some Tums and a liquid IV. I've had enough. But anyway, I hope you guys are having had a great Christmas, celebrated a great New Year. Now we're getting ready to kick things off, kind of wrapping up the holidays here. But, George, I think this is a great opportunity this weekend here on Family First Retirement to talk about 2026. How can we make 2026 the best year ever for our finances, for our financial future? And, George, I want to start with something we all do. We all make resolutions. And you've said it before. I think it was this time a year ago. You said, don't make resolutions, make goals. Why is it important to make goals, not resolutions?
Because I perceive goals to be something that's continuous, whereas resolutions are just a change, a quick thing. And we're coming up on that time, Mark, and you know this better than I do. I think it's January 12th or 17th. People make these resolutions on New Year's. And by the 17th, I think it's like 75% are already done. You need to make goals. It goes back to muscle memory. And I say that word muscle memory because if you ever watch an athlete or an actor, they do their task over and over again. So they don't even think about it. It's just natural for them. A baseball player, the swing is just so natural because he's done it 1,000,000 times this year alone. An actor singing a song or doing a performance on stage has done so much that they don't think about it anymore. It just happens. And I think that's what we need to do when it comes to our retirement and planning for retirement and our financial goals and objectives. It has to become hard at first, right? Because change is difficult. We're used to doing this, and now we're trying to do that. But you need to be in a position where those goals are going to become lifetime events, things that we don't even think about. And we see what those goals objectives are and how great it gets for us after the strain. I say strain, I don't think that's the wrong word, because change is difficult. Change is not something we as human beings like to do. Mm-hmm. But once you get into it and it's no longer change, it's normality, it gives us great rewards.
Right.
And that's what we're here to do. When you call us at 302-330-2166, we'll help you see what goals you want to do, what your goals are, get them more defined, and help you accomplish them. Because I want you to be just as successful as you want to be.
Yeah.
And maybe having that coach on the outside pushing you and helping you and guiding you will help it accomplish.
So let me ask you this, George Politarhos, betrayawealth.com, P-A-T-R-I-A wealth.com to get started to make 2026 your best year ever. Just start with the initial email to George and the team or the phone call, 302-330-2166. What are your goals? Do you set goals either personally or professionally or with the Betrayal Wealth Group? What are some of the goals that you have for this year?
I think you have to have goals. And we keep them posted in my office right here behind my screen. I have them listed for the year and how we're going and tracking them very well. The first thing is, I really truly believe the first goal we have is how to help increase families in our area. We want to increase it by 15% over last year.
Oh, increase the families that you help.
Right.
Yeah.
And the families in our area, help them be in a better place.
Yeah.
And our area, Mark, we're in Wilmington, right here at 501 Silverside Road. We're dealing with South Jersey, Atlantic City, Dover, Middletown, Philadelphia, King of Prussia. Our area is large. We help people. So we want to increase that by 15%. Another thing I have as a personal goal is Leslie and I like to travel probably once a quarter. We try and go someplace. One of the goals I've thought about over the last few years and never did, and I know this year, 2026, we're accomplishing it, is getting to go back to Greece, get to go to Greece for the first time, to where my father was a little boy playing in his village.
That's awesome.
I'm really, truly excited. I'm going to be able to share that with my brother Pete and his wife Denise too, with Les and I. So that's something I cannot wait to occur. And I think the third one is we've been on a journey to get healthier, Leslie and I, the last couple of years. More fit. I do about once or twice a week, I do walking and go to the gym. My goal is obviously to increase that in 3 to 4 times a week to do it, only because I turned a year older last year, which we all do, right? They can't stop that crap and go backwards. And I want to be around for my boys.
Yeah.
Alex and Jared and my daughter Anna, my daughter-in-law Anna, and my favorite little person, Archer. So I want to be able to enjoy myself and get better. But there are things we're going to accomplish. And I know I'm going to be complaining about it when it's cold, folks. We're in a little bit of a cold spot right now,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Where the dogs won't go outside even to go piddle. But I'm going to make sure we do this because I want that carrot, so to speak, down the road.
I love that. 302
How about you, Mark? What are your
2166. You know, it's funny you say that because I think mine are a little more emotional. This may be a little psychologically deep, but one of the goals I've set for myself for this year is to just slow down. I have a great life. I have no complaints. I say yes to everything other than doing this show, and working in media. I host a lot of charity events. I host a lot of events across town, across the community, and I love doing that. But Gretchen, my wife, she gets so mad at me because I say yes to everything, whether the talent fee is incredible or it's peanuts. I say yes to everything. And she's like, you are taking time away from your family to go do an event that's going to benefit them, but is it benefiting you? So to kind of be in the moment
hard
more.
to say no.
Yeah.
It's hard to say no or disappoint someone.
Yeah. And that's it. I know it's incredibly egotistical, but
it's not.
But for me, it's like, just slow down. That, and I'm at the age now in my late 40s. My other goal this year is to, as we talk about every weekend, I'm going to sound like a huge hypocrite here.
Financially sound.
Yes. I'm at the point now where it's like you're not a kid anymore, Mark.
And it's also time, if there's a mistake, that we can make it better. What if you made mistakes, Mark?
Mm-hmm.
You're getting into your late 40s now. So you've made some mistakes over time. Folks, who hasn't made mistakes? But now we have time to recuperate. We have time to get back on the straight and narrow, so to speak, or on the right path. It's kind of like, Mark, when we meet with clients and they're scared to talk to you because I made some bad investments. I didn't save enough money. That's the biggest thing I hear. I didn't save enough money. But when you come in, guess what? It is what it is. We can't change what happened last year, last 5 years. We can do something about the next 5 years.
Yeah.
When you come in, we want to get that. And I truly believe, and folks, you all have your own goals. We're not going to use the term resolution, so get that out of your vocabulary right now.
Right.
You have your goals you want to accomplish. One of them, if it's not 1, 2, or 3, it better be 4, is I want to have a written financial plan going forward.
Mm-hmm.
That keeps you accountable. Did you ever go grocery shopping, Mark? And I go grocery shopping, and Leslie says, get this and this. And I go and I bring home a grocery cart full of stuff. And she's like, where's the things I asked you to bring? If it's not written down on this paper,
Yep.
you don't think about it. Out of sight, out of mind.
Yep.
You need that written financial plan. When you come in the office here at 501 Silverside Road in Wilmington, we're going to put that financial plan together for you. It's going to be black and white. You're going to have 100% input into it and how we're going to go forward. When you become part of my family at Betrayal Wealth, we're going to put together a book that shows a letter to your beneficiaries. So if something happens to you, they know who to contact, where everything's at. We're going to show a list of your assets that we're helping you with so they know where it's at. We're going to have that written income plan in that book, Mark, because you and your spouse, your partner, whatever the term is, need to have an idea about where we're going.
Right.
We're going to have a tax strategy in there. Tax strategy is a big word. How are we going to keep as much money in our pocket than given to the government? I love the country. I can't stand the way the government spends my money. Where's Doge at when you need them?
Yep.
We're going to have that retirement plan in there. We're going to have expenses, where our expenses are, what things are changing. And we're going to have an agenda about tomorrow. Right now, I know you're driving around. We're enjoying the cold weather. We're having fun with the family. Take care of yourself. Give yourself a late Christmas gift. Get this taken care of. Where else can you go and get educated, informed, and enlightened on how to do something you've never done before?
Yeah.
Unless you come in to see me and my team here at Betrayal Wealth. 302-330-2166. Let's get 2026 in a great place. Because the good news is you're living longer, Mark. Congratulations there, Pumpkin. The bad news is you're living longer. Let's make sure we get to keep our money. Because what's the number one concern of people getting ready for retirement, Mark?
Running out of money.
Running out of money. Let's take the guesswork out and get it done. And that starts with having a written income plan.
All right, let me back up there, George Politarhos. 302-330-2166. Again, 302-330-2166 or online at betrayalwealth.com, P-A-T-R-I-A wealth.com. Somebody's listening this weekend. They're going, man, George, you're talking to me. 2026 is the year that I start getting educated about my finances, about my retirement. But I don't know where to start. I feel like I have a portfolio that's a bit of a mess. George, when I come to see you, what do I bring? I don't know what to do. So walk me through it. What do I need to do for that first timer?
Obviously, we're gonna hold your hand and guide you. We're gonna need, obviously, your assets that you have, your 401k, any retirement account you have. We're gonna go over expenses with you. We're gonna want last year's or most recent tax return you have available, because that tells a lot of stories about where we're at and where we're going. Because when we do tax strategies, which is part of retirement planning, we need to see what we're working with. I'm going to go over your expenses with you. Mark, it's really funny. We have families that come in and we talk about expenses. And they know the mortgage. They know car payment. They don't know about, I say hairdo dolly. Mark, you don't have to worry about that. But how much you spend on things that you don't think about it.
Yeah.
How much you do on shopping.
Yeah.
Amazon, Netflix, those streaming services. They sound like stupid things, folks. But my mother would tell us in Greek all the time, bean by bean, the pot slowly fills. All these little expenses that you don't think about, these nickels and dimes, add up to dollars. Why not stop chasing pennies and let's take care of the dollars, and they'll take care of themselves. So we're going to go over the expenses with you. We're going to go over what your long-term plans are. What do you want to do in retirement, Mark? I want you to think here. Do I want to travel? Do I want to get to go to Greece? Do I want to get to go to Turkey or Asia? Or do I want to stay home in my backyard and enjoy the garden? They're all great choices. But what are your long-term goals? We're going to talk about, concerns that you don't want to think about. What happens when, in 20 years from now, your time's sent to go home? Mm-hmm. How is your family going to be in a position? How's your children, your spouse, your children, your grandkids? What's your legacy? I don't want to talk about legacy, George. I get it. A lot of things we don't want to do. But I'm going to help you. If we don't talk about it, I'm going to enlighten you to start thinking about it. And then when you come in the office, we're going to have a good cup of coffee. We're going to talk. We're going to learn about each other. And then we start the process. And if what I present makes sense, we can move forward. And if it doesn't make sense for you, that's okay. But at least we got a base for you to start working. It's about that education. And that's what we do at Betrayal Wealth.
I'm having a good conversation kicking off 2026, talking about how to make it your best year ever. Now, let's talk about, not to be Debbie Downer here, but there's a reality that there could be a job loss in 2026. We saw it happen big time in 2025. A lot of major companies laying off tens of thousands of people. So if you're in the position where you're thinking, I may be getting that pink slip, I'm kind of hearing this in the background, or maybe that gut feeling. So how do we do that? How do we hope for the best, but plan for the worst? Did I get that right, George? Anyway, talk to me how you plan for the speed bumps in life.
Well, I always think people were optimists. The glass always half full.
Yeah.
And that's what you should be doing, folks. You should always see the rosy side of things, rose-colored glasses. But I think your financial advisor and my team at Betrayal Wealth, what my goal is to think about the what-if moments. That glass is half empty. We see your industry and you're talking. We got to plan for what happens if, George, I get terminated or my company goes under or I age out. We have a friend right now, and my wife was blessed enough that she got to retire last year. And Leslie is absolutely loving retirement. She works a couple days a week in the office, Mark, and she loves being here. And she loves the idea of having Archer whenever she wants to, or she's not feeling well, he comes sees Mimi. She gets to go horseback riding. She gets to do everything she wants to, and it's the greatest thing in the world. But we have a friend that the company's downsizing. She's constantly on edge. She's constantly worried about what if tomorrow's my last day. We have her retirement plan. Her and I have been working together, so she understands if this happens, we are okay, and how we're going to move forward. And that's what this is about. You need to speak to someone to have that, what do they call, exit plan.
Yep.
Exit strategy for your retirement and for your forced retirement. Why would I want to pay someone that's 63 with all their knowledge when I can pay someone that's 23 or 33 and doesn't know a darn thing, pay him half the price?
Right.
You have to think it that way, folks. And that's what we do at Portrayal Wealth. I look at the glass as half empty, not half full, because if we plan for the worst case and it doesn't happen, guess what? Fan-flippin-tastic. If it goes the other way, we're not happy, but we planned for it,
right,
and we're okay. And that's what this is about. Go to our website, Portrayal Wealth, P-A-T-R-I-A Wealth.com, or give us a call at 302-330-2166. Let's schedule that no-cost, no-obligation meeting. Knowledge is power. You remember those commercials, Mark? You may not, because you're a little bit younger than we are.
100% I do.
We're younger, though. The government had this knowledge is power. Learn what this is about. Yeah. That's right now. Knowledge is power, folks. Let's learn about our retirement.
You know, I'm going to pull back the curtain a little bit and put your business out there. A couple days ago, we were recording the radio show, and you looked out the window, and you go, oh, man, because you literally record the show from your office. So when you meet with George, you're sitting in his radio studio as well, which is his home office, which is fantastic. I love technology. But you look out the window and you go, oh, man, here she comes. Here comes the boss. And it was Leslie on her way in. But two things that I noticed, and we had the chance to catch up with her for a couple of seconds. Two things. Number one, the excitement of your face when she came walking in just gives me hope. You know, you get so excited when she's around. You call her the boss all the time. You call her the beast all the time. But I love y'all's relationship. It's all a part of family. But to see her, too, she just has this sense of joy around her right now when she comes into the office because she is working part-time. She's doing what she loves. And that sense of just excitement and just happiness, as cliched and as cheesy as that sounds, George Politarhos, to see your bride just so happy at where she's at in life.
I am gifted. I told you before, I really hit the lottery. And I have a beautiful wife. I have two awesome sons, Alexander and Jared. And they're awesome young men, boys. There'll always be a boy to me.
Yeah.
Awesome young men because of her.
Yep.
She did a great job with our sons. And I can never say thank you. And to see her so peaceful and so happy in life. I've won the lottery. I tell you all the time. You know, mock me if you may. I just think it's the greatest thing in the world having this.
Now, wait a minute.
So,
she's not listening right now, is she?
No.
No, okay. Yeah, well, you wear the pants of the family, George. Don't get us wrong. You're the real CEO of the family, George. Don't tell her I said that, but yeah.
I won't. Well, did you ever see that movie, My Big Fat Greek Wedding?
Oh, yeah.
We went to see it as a couple, me and Les and my brother Pete and his wife. And our wives are both non-Greek, okay? So we would say they're growing up the way we grew up, very traditional Greek family. They're Americans. They're not Greeks. So we're sitting there, and the favorite line Leslie says to me all the time is when the daughter wants to go to college, and a Greek girl doesn't go to college, why do you want to go to college? The mother's talking to the father. And he says, she's going to be getting in trouble. She's going to do drugs. She's going to do all these things. And the girl's crying. And she goes, your father may be the head of the household, but I'm the neck. And I'll turn the neck any way I want. And that is so dang true. I act like I'm the boss. I am not the boss. I sit there and say, Leslie, I don't want to do this. She goes, okay, we're doing it. Okay. Whatever you say, darling. It's just... She is the boss.
There is a reason we call this show Family First Retirement, because George puts family in front of everything that he does throughout the community. So whether you're in Wilmington, New Jersey, Maryland, Dover, no, they live here, they work here, they play here. He's surrounded by a great group of people that want to help you with your retirement strategy. You can meet George, Jared, Ernie, Achilles, Leslie, the entire team. PortrayalWealth.com, P-A-T-R-I-A Wealth.com. And real quick, George, as we're talking about making 2026 the best year ever, I want you to talk to that adult right now that maybe does have the plan, but it's a big box advisor, and they're going, man, something's just not right. The lack of communication. I feel like there's opportunities that they could be missing. If 2026, they say, I want to get that second opinion, tell me about the second opinion service you offer at the Betrayal Wealth Group.
The thing we're going to look at is what you currently have, obviously. And what I found, Mark, in my experience is that you go to these big box firms, and we can name them, but you know who we're talking about. They have the name on the side of the building. They have offices throughout the country. They put you into a box themselves. You are a box to them. So you are 62 years old. You have this much money. They put you in this box that's right for every 62-year-old in the country, and they slide you down the assembly line. And they think that you're just like the Smiths, the Joneses, the Blackwells next door. Hate to tell you this, folks, but you are unique. You've done a great job in being who you are, how you are, and where you are in life. When you work with Betrayal Wealth, first thing we're going to do is see what your wants, dreams, desires are. The advisor probably didn't talk to you about that at those big box firms.
Right.
A, the person you initially met, and we'll just call him Stephen Smith, just isn't your advisor anymore. Because either A, you're not big enough. B, he's moved on to something else. He's not there. C, they pass you down to a junior advisor who doesn't know the time of day, let alone who you are and what you want to do. When you come in, we'll go through that. But I think it's important to understand that I care what you want, because you want something probably different than I want. I want to stay home and play golf and work in my pond. Yeah. And you want to go and travel the country. Great. But we're going to build a plan that fits who you are, because it's not just one size fits all. And I always say this to Mark, and I'm trying to be the new year on the positive note here.
Here we go.
We all have different size shoes, right? I wear a size 15, and Mark wears a size 11.
You're getting so
God,
close.
that's killing me.
My man.
In women's shoes.
God,
women's shoes.
So close, man.
But what's right for Mark, shoe-wise, is not right for George. And same thing back and forth. I'm building this plan. I'm building this retirement strategy based on what your needs are, what your wants are. Maybe you have $1 million put aside for retirement. Maybe you have $200,000. The plans are going to be different. Maybe you want to travel around the world, or maybe you want to stay with the grandchildren and enjoy your family. Plan's going to be a little bit different, little tweaks here and there. Where are we going to pull the funds from? But we're going to do this together. We're going to build this plan around what your wants and needs are. And that's the biggest difference, Mark, when it comes down to it, between the big box firms and myself. You are not a number with me. When you call my office, we know who you are. We know, about your children, about your grandchildren, about your retirement, about your wedding, because you are part of my big fat Greek family.
Insurance and annuities offered through George A. Politarhos, Delaware Insurance License Number 1373121. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Read your contract for restrictions, limitations, or penalties.